Hi, I'm Monique Walker. I went into the foster care at the age 2, joined Angel Arms around 11 years old, and remained there until I aged out. After aging out, I realized I wasn't ready to tackle the world, and my Angel Arms family welcomed me back. I was one of the original 3 siblings at the first Angel Arms home. I am now 29 and working on healing and learning to love myself. I have a car and apartment, and I work as a dialysis technician helping others. This career path allows me to show compassion, much like the love that was shown to me through Angel's Arms. Today, I have the honor of talking with some of the best people in this world. These people are the ones on the front line, willing, eager to open their doors and their hearts to give love and support to children who come into their home. I was one of those children.
For years, I've worked with children that have been rescued from sex trafficking or human trafficking. Those children I don't usually have very long. Then they move them on to a safe house. I would say most of the children that I work with is a population that has been exposed to addiction and the fallout from caregivers or parents that are addicts. Sadly, so many of these kids become addicts themselves. Maybe they started using at 7 or 8 with their parents. They were involved in drug trafficking as well. In 2021, I lost a boy to a fentanyl overdose. And it was just a devastatingly sad ending to a child that for 10 years fought this addiction. And it was sad to see him lose that.
I can relate to the kids who parents did drug abuse and then they also did drug abuse. I also experienced that as well.
And you broke the cycle.
Yes, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad we both have great support teams, Angel's Arms. So
absolutely. Those volunteers that show up, they just make all the difference.
They really do.
Missouri is in a dire emergency for foster homes. The total amount each foster home should have of kids in their home is 6, and we have 9 because there is no home.
And what about the 3-year-old with you now who wasn't expected to survive? Tell us about him.
My little guy, we brought him home straight from the NICU. He had an ostomy bag. He was on 2 liters of oxygen and a G-tube. Now he is 3.5.
Okay.
He is off all of the oxygen.
That's great.
He no longer has an ostomy bag and he no longer needs a G-tube. And his favorite thing is Paw Patrol, and he's in preschool and really striving.
Without the financial support of Angel's Arms, where do you think you would be?
Well, I can tell you where I would be because I've been fostering for over 20 years and I've only been with Angel's Arms since 2015. When you don't get that extra money from Angel's Arms, you're not able to give the kids all the things that they really deserve. I'm helping the kids to make sure that they can play football and go on the trips that they want to go on, not having to struggle anymore.
What's the biggest thing Angel Arms has done for you?
Besides the beautiful house that's big enough for us to foster more, I would say, again, the community support, helping out with Christmas and gifts for the boys, which is very expensive. Having birthday buddies who team up to do things for the boys, the back to school rallies for school supplies and school clothes. Just the wonderful people, the supporters and donors and board members and staff that we have become family with and stuff. Wouldn't trade it. Of course, we did this prior to Angel's Arms, but what a world of difference when you've got a whole community backing you up.
I think a lot of people think foster kids come into care due to neglect. But I've had a 9-year-old boy that came into care because his mother passed.
Wow.
And he had a very hard time adjusting to that. He missed her so much to the point that he tried to take his own life one night. He took a serrated knife and he took it to his neck.
Ooh.
and tried to cut himself because the pain was so intense for him. He just wanted to be with his mother.
How did Angel Arms support you at that time?
I talked to Bess and I just let her know what I was going through. And she was able to contact other people and get resources for me. So ultimately, they were able to get him moved and placed to a facility that was better suited to help him, because I felt like at that time, I could not keep him safe, nor could I keep the children in the home around him safe.
And why do you continue to foster care after all these years?
Hope. I just hope I'm making a difference with the boys. And when I see the hope in them, when they experience new things or they grow individually and their confidence builds, that keeps me going. I feel like I'm making a difference, or I hope I'm making a difference in their lives.
Margie, you're the foster mom of 7 teens. So you recently had a traumatic experience with 2 of your teens? Tell us about that.
I was woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning by one of my teens knocking on my door telling me that 2 of my teens had overdosed. Time I got into the room, one of them was turning blue and his lips were blue, and I had to administer Narcan. Thank goodness I had took a class through Angel Arms and knew how to administer Narcan and bring this child back.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. It was a traumatic experience for the child and me. Something I don't ever want to live through again.
No. So how's that kid doing now?
He's doing great. He's in rehab. He's been there for a little over a month and a half. He's ready to come home. He calls me and asks me almost every day, can I come home now? At first I said no, but after a lot of prayer and talking with the other foster parents that are in Angel Arms homes and talking to the staff at Angel Arms and asking for their guidance, I've decided to let him come home. He told me he stood out in my driveway and he cried the day that he went to rehab, and he said, Grandma, he calls me Grandma. He said, you're the only one that's ever loved me, the only one that's cared.
Man.
So, yeah, that makes it all worth it when you have a child that's 17 put their arms around you and say, nobody's ever loved me like you.
After all that had happened, you still have a passion for this?
I do. It's something that's been laid on my heart. I love these kids, and I feel like if I can keep helping them, that somebody's got to step up there. And with the support of Angel Arms and other foster parents, I'm able to do that.